Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Maitri. I'm very passionate about develops and I am learning to be a better GM, better player, and a better person. And I'm going to share with you some of the cool stuff that I've been learning. Today we are going to talk about something that I've really kept my eyes and ears open for and tried to implement, which is making compelling NPCs. And I'm not talking about like what they kind of evolve into during play, but just sort of like when you introduce them, like the first time they're introduced to the party. And in that scenario, like whether you're running a long form campaign or, with hours of prep or just like wing it, session to session or like whatever, one shot, whatever. NPCs are kind of the lifeblood of your game. Like, they're the ones that provide information, they provide context to the world, and they're a lot of times how your players connect to the story emotionally. And I promise building good ones is super not complicated. Forget about stat blocks for a second. Most of them don't need them anyway, to be honest. What really makes a compelling NPC is three simple things that, and literally is so simple that I'll be very surprised if it requires more than like 5 minutes for you to put one together. We're actually going to build 3 NPCs using this format. I'd love for you to build one alongside me, or like if you already have a really good one, like maybe you think about like, are you able to sort of answer this stuff for them? If not, maybe you can backfill like if this works for you, if this resonates with you. The first thing is basically, in what capacity does a PC interact with them? So their title, their role, or their context in the world. The second thing, 2 things they are and 2 things they are not. And these traits give your NPC a backbone. Something really consistent to kind of drive your roleplay and your characterization of them. You don't need a 10-page backstory. You kind of just need a compass to direct their behavior. You can figure out later why they are the way they are. You very much don't need to do that now, and you very much don't need to do that if, like, they're not a recurring character that, your group has, wanted to keep involved in the story for, or you keep them involved or whatever. The third thing, what do they want? Every character wants something. Is it something small, like just getting through the day without like a shitty customer or like a mark on your apron, or is it big, like they want to bring their child back from across enemy lines in a like in a war-torn country? This is what gives an NPC's actions weight. They have something to lose. So, the very first NPC that we are gonna create is a highly decorated army person who ends up being a quest giver. Her name is Major Marbury. 2 things she is: professional and no nonsense. 2 things she is not: warm and casual. The thing she wants is to mount a rescue operation to get her squad back from a particularly dangerous expedition that they were lost on. Just from that description, you can pretty much immediately tell like how stiff her uniform is and how slick back her hair is and how clipped her tone is. So number one, her context in the world is that she is a highly decorated member of a formal, powerful institution, and she ends up being quest giver. Being highly decorated in this way means that she is respected within the framework of the institution and the world at large in terms of like legality stuff. Equally important, what she isn't. What she is professional and no nonsense. What she isn't is warm and casual. So you can already kind of tell that she doesn't really like seeing things more than once. She's not going to be particularly friendly. Like, she'll probably come across cold, but she's really just being direct and giving instructions. And being as kind of high decorated as she is, it probably doesn't bother her to be seen as kind of cold and distant and giving just commands and instructions. Number three, what she wants kind of informs how she navigates the world and interacts with the PCs. In this case, I've made the thing that she wants relate to the quest that she's going to give the PCs, so she's kind of on the side of them. She wants to get her squad back, and what I've decided the main quest that they are going to get from her is they are going to be sent to get the squad back. If they were behaving in a way that's counter to the thing that she wanted, she'd probably behave very differently to them, given everything else we've identified. So that's why it's very important to know what it is they want. So let's do another NPC now, one that isn't so directly tied. Like, he's not giving the quest, maybe he's just someone the party meets. Let's say his name is Dave Khatri. He's an old friend to one of the party members. Fairly senior person in a merchant's guild. The thing he wants is to not be a desk jockey, but he is. Two things he is he is a himbo and overly familiar. Two things he is not is serious and reflective. So now you can already kind of picture him, big open grin, sort of arms kind of wide, like, for calling the PC by like a nickname in front of their whole party that like they probably haven't even called since they were a kid. Probably launches into complaints about like having to fill in requisition forms. Number two, again, his personality is defined both by what he is and what he isn't. Probably even more by what he isn't. He's not there to give them mission, like I said, or quest, but he might accidentally give them a lead because he just talks like he's just chatty. Or he might complicate things again because he just talks. Either way, he feels incredibly real to your world, to the PCs. Like it doesn't just feel flat and two dimensional. Number three, in this case, I've made the thing that he wants. Basically, he just wants to be doing a different job. Like I said, it does not need to be relevant to the quest they are on. It just needs to be like true, and it can just kind of add color to the interactions if it comes up. It's just an added texture thing. Like, you don't actually have to do anything with it. It's just kind of how he navigates the world. Like I said, complaining about filling in requisition forms, that kind of thing. So let's do a final one. A story NPC that the PCs will meet as part of the quest that they are on. Let's say you have a blacksmith named Brina. Two things that she is a perfectionist and suspicious of outsiders. The two things she is not is she's not easily impressed and she is not into gossip. The thing that she wants is to make sure that the orphanage she grew up in is just made better and better. Again, like, just from that description, you can already kind of picture her, well muscled, arms crossed, eyes narrowed, kind of sizing up the party before like they even say a word. Doesn't really waste time or energy on like small talk, pleasantries. She keeps to herself. She's really focused on her craft. But underneath her fairly guarded exterior, she's someone who takes a lot of pride in her work, more than likely because of that perfectionist thing. And she cares very deeply about people around her who are particularly vulnerable. She's probably just not like super approachable and friendly, but she is probably someone that has a fair bit of integrity and takes her place in the world seriously. So, number one, her context in the world is that she is a point of interaction the PCs are going to encounter. So figure out what information or details she might also have. Her other context in the world is that she's a blacksmith. The context that's important here is what's the deal with blacksmiths in this world? Are they few and far between and they can only work if they're sanctioned by the ruling class? Like, are they just kind of like artisans and like they're kind of a dime a dozen and like you have to sort of make a name for yourself based on the quality of your work? So figure out what being a blacksmith in the context of the world means, and that'll inform some of that. Number two, her personality again is defined by what she is and what she isn't. And what she is, and because of what she is and isn't, she's probably going to take like a minute to warm up to the party. Especially if they try to just kind of ingratiate themselves with her. She probably won't respond super well to threats of violence. But, if there's a transaction that can be made where they offer to help the orphanage or like, they win her over by complimenting her work, whatever. And the thing is like, as an NPC characterization, these are things that you drop as the GM to make this NPC feel textured and distinct. And coming up with what makes them textured and distinct has not been difficult. That's the point that I'm trying to make. You can make compelling NPCs that are interesting for players without a ton of effort. You can just kind of like I said, I'll be very surprised if you need more than like 5 minutes to figure out an NPC, even an important one. So yeah, there you have it. 3 quick steps to build compelling NPCs. Number one, the context of who they are in the world and how the players meet them. Number two, 2 things they are and 2 things they are not. And number 3, what they want. So that's it. Hopefully you have the tools now to whip up someone interesting on the fly, someone with a voice, someone with a goal, and a reason to exist, and they kind of make your world more vibrant by existing in it. That's kind of the magic of great NPCs. They show that the world is full of people with their own hopes, their own challenges, their own perspectives. It reminds players that the story doesn't just revolve around them, it expands because of them and because of their actions. The world feels more alive when everyone in it, not just the party, has stuff that they care about and stuff that kind of informs their behavior. Anyway, if you like this video, consider subscribing. But if you don't like notifications or subscriptions, I do have a backlog of stuff. I also have an audio only format, or a written blog if that works better for you from like an accessibility app perspective, that kind of thing. But otherwise, yeah, links to all that and some APs in the description. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Come see you again soon. Bye.